for real, for real. My it's real for real. I'm in the field for real. I'm about my check for real. I'm about my respect for real. My diamonds are crystal clear.
They clear.
I'm shining from ear to ear.
I'm shining from ear to ear. Stand my ground, I ain't showing no fear. I done came up like the top.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. A minute or so ago, it was the veteran leader of the Seattle secondary, Cam Chancellor, firing up this Seahawk crowd that's in its usual full roar as he and his mates get set to go head-to-head with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And the offense, my goodness, over 50 points in the win last weekend. When you do that, you're not going to lose very many games, maybe not any games.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Gerald McCoy is so slippery and elusive in the interior of the defense. I don't care who has the assignment to block him. It usually ends up having to take at least 2, and most of the time, that's not enough either. Witness that tackle for loss.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Looking deep downfield. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. A first carry here for Ty Montgomery. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Back to throw here. Forced out to his left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Evans has it left side. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the 1st down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. Drops it underneath to Elliott. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. they become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll set up a throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. He's got Evans. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. And that one good for 16 yards and a first. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man of the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And this one is incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. And it'll bring up third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
In search of 8 yards on third down. They've already converted 2. He'll look to throw. Over the middle to Evans. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Looking to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. K.J. Wright able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3. The D brought the house. They called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want. They go right to the blitz. And in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback. No chance on that 4th down.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
And I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Now, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. Got a man, it's right. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. 2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. They go play action here on first down. Yeah, they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
Now Cohen. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. The rushing numbers last week for Cohen. 17 carries, 52 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he...
And the ball is knocked out, and the Seahawks have recovered. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for.
Whenever we call a game that's in the snow, we have to focus a little bit more, trying to make sure we've got the right numbers on the player that we're calling, right? The right guys in the game. Think about the guys on the field. Their focus has to... really increase as well because so many things coming at you. You got to make sure that you're really locked in on taking care of the ball.
Or if you don't, you cough it up like they did right there. This is Carson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. This is Cohen. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be fourth down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
Now a chance to take advantage of that missed field goal. 1st and 10, way up at the 37. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. A nice little juke and very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Defensively, the tackle by Cam Chancellor.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. Flush to his right. Open space inside the 10. And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on 1st down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down, makes it manageable now.
They're going to look to throw. And he's got it. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ty Montgomery, his first touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point up and through, and we are tied at 7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was all capped on the touchdown run by Ty Montgomery. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there. You've given yourself a chance. You're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
Dancing to his left, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Quan Alexander in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. 1 minute, 53 ticks left to go in this first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to rumble.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. A big play there just before halftime. 45 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll set up to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. O.J. Howard, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They run it with Carson. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll get started over at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Joe Flacco, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, we're off to check out another game. And it was the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars that go home with the victory. 35-7 was your final in a one-sided affair. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow is still continuing to fall as we are back underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
On second down, Elliott. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He'll look to throw. And this one's incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, and it's third down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Bucs on third down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go.
They'll drop to throw. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch it now, Barney. Leopard.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. And Marquell Lee with a stop defensively.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Again, it's Elliott. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The Bucs on third down. They have been superb, 5 for 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now back to throw. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll go down at the 28. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
I like his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. Well, the field goal obviously a little dicier here with the elements in the snow, but still right on the border of field goal range. But they're going to go for it. Montgomery, they'll run for it. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Eric Rowe that time able to knock that pass away.
Brandon, what we just saw there is something we hear from coaches throughout the league. How are you going to defend what they call the moment of truth ball, meaning a 50-50? The ball's in the air, defender's there, receiver's there. Who's going to make a play on the football? And in this case, the defensive guys actually got it done and knocked it away.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. On the move to his left. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Down carry by Elliott. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll look to throw here. This is caught. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. O.J. Howard, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
So that drive spans 13 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Again, it's Cohen. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On 3rd down, it's Cohen. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Barkevious Mingo in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. Matt Longacre in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the offense does cover this one, but back inside their own 5-yard line.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Now it's Carson, and they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run. This is Cohen. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now it's Wilson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. An agile move and a nice gain, then dropped at the 25-yard line. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. First down, Seahawks, Wilson to Baldwin. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Now they'll run it with Cohen. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, we're into the 2nd half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Now they'll run on the draw. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A.J. Derby with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to drop those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Matt Longacre in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. But he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. Now, remember, they had 2 last week in the win. Obviously losing here.
Well, you talk about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team, and he had that opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in, but that doesn't mean they're going to back off at all. They figure if they can get one of those takeaways, they can spark their team to a win.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Buying time to his left. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what...
And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Gerald McCoy. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You've got to just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Escaping the pressure right. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Back to throw here. Open man has got one. It's complete. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Flush to his right. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Montgomery looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's got some space here. And he slides to avoid the hit. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now on 1st down, he'll drop the throw. Oh, no, lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
The give is to Elliott. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And a little pride throughout the organization here, because they said going into the regular season 8 wins was the benchmark. They can check that box off the list.
And let's face it, many teams are going to say, well, 8 wins, how much is that? That's a big number for this team, and that was a great goal. And to reach it, that's just going to give them confidence moving forward.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Seattle, so long, everybody.